Yeah, we were going to get started. Cantor, we'd be honored to have you bring in Shabbat.
Wonderful. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Reminder, if you haven't yet, to please make sure you're on mute so you can sing along without us having interruptions. And we're going to get started with a nigun. I'll also sort of preface this by saying that tonight's music are all featuring women composers, female composers. So this is called the Sunrise Nigun, and you already know the words, so please join me. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai dai da dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai dai da dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai da dai 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 dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai da dai 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 dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Dai 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 dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. And with that, we get ready to sing a new song, Shir Chadash, which you'll find on page 3 of your Siddur. Sorry, my music is a little disorganized. One moment. There we go. Shirul Adonai kol haaretz. Shirul Adonai shir chadash. Shirul Adonai kol haaretz. Shirul Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shirul Adonai kol haaretz. Shirul Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
Shabbat Shalom, dear friends. Shabbat Shalom. So great to be together tonight. Shabbat is here. Our Jewish day of rest, renewal, and joy is here. Throughout this week, we hope you've experienced some moments of goodness and some moments of blessing. And we know tonight is definitely going to be such a moment, because tonight is our annual Sisterhood Shabbat service. Members of our Temple Sisterhood, the women of Reform Judaism, have put together and will lead a beautiful and meaningful and creative service for us tonight, with special poems and readings and, of course, music. So let's continue. We are honored to now call upon immediate past president of Temple Sinai Sisterhood, Laura Goldsmith, and Vice President of Sisterhood, Kathleen Richland.
Thank you. We are the women who have bonded together in the spirit of friendship, love, and a common cause.
We are women who, for whatever reason, be it that we were born Jewish or we became Jews by choice, we have chosen to lead a Jewish life.
We are women seeking our own way, searching for our own special place in the world.
We are women who know that together we can accomplish more than we could do alone.
We are women who are filled with dedication, devotion, determination, and hope.
We are women who are daughters, sisters, mothers, and grandmothers, the products of our ancestors' teachings, they who were the dreamers, the planners, the believers.
We are women who know that we can make a difference by our actions.
We are women who are the protectors of the past, the caretakers of the present, and the promise of the future.
We are Jewish women, sisterhood women.
Standing on the pillars of sisterhood, spirituality, and social justice.
Together, we are the proud women of Reform Judaism, Temple Sinai Sisterhood, doing our part for our families, our congregations, and our faith.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Laura, so much. Well, let's now greet Shabbat and God's presence with love, as our ancestors have done for centuries, by singing Lecha Dodi on page 5.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'ribur echad, Hishmiyanu el ha-yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'lithilah. lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. I invite you to take this moment to please rise and turn towards your doorways to greet the Sabbath bride. Bo'ii v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'tzola, toch emunei yam segula. Bo'ii chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Well, together we're now going to bring in the light and the warmth and the joy of Shabbat. And to help us do so, we are so very honored to call upon Susie Lenkowski to share with us some very creative readings and poems before she lights the Sabbath candles.
The hands that kindle these Sabbath lights are ageless. They belong to the April adolescent, to the winter widow, and to all women in between. They join the powerful hands of our biblical matriarchs, the skeletal grasp of all our suffering sisters, the iron grip of Israeli womanhood. The hands that kindle these Sabbath candles guard the light of Jewish survival and reach out to touch the world in freedom and in peace. Praised are you, Adonai, source of strength for Jewish women throughout the ages. As we light the Sabbath candles, we invite into our presence the memory of those who cannot be with us, friends, family, and temple members in other places or from our past. We bring them into the community by holding their names in our thoughts as the candles are lit.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you so very much. Well, we turn to page 9 at this time with our Sabbath candles lit. Our tradition at Temple Sinai, along with the tradition of many Jewish households, is to wish God's blessings upon our families near and far. So we invite you, if your family is close by, to please join with them. If they're not close by, to hold them in your heart as we now join together in our family blessing.
May God bless you and keep you. May He shine His face upon you and grace you. May He lift His presence unto you and grant you peace. May God bless you
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom. We are now honored to call upon Janet Morgan.
Shabbat Shalom. This reading is in the quiet time of worship. In the quiet time of worship, we call you, Adonai. Please listen and grant our heart's request to be with us throughout our Sabbath, to protect the ones we love, and to help us remember that you are never too far, just a thought, a word, a prayer away from all of us. May our consciousness of you embrace each action we take and allow us to recall the nearness of your presence created in this quiet time of worship.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you so very much. Well, fabulous Jewish poet and liturgist Marcia Falk, in her classic work, The Book of Blessings, creatively translates the 6 words of the Shema into English as, "Hear, O Israel, the divine abounds everywhere and dwells in everything. The many are one." May you and I have the eyes to see, the heart to feel, and the mind to know and affirm. The divine abounds everywhere and dwells in everything. The many are one. As we join together in the Shema, page 14.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We are honored now to call upon Maggie Freed. Oh, Maggie, you're muted.
So I am. For Shabbat, Holy One of Being, help us replace the earthbound things, confines of space, with Shabbat eyes, with Shabbat heart. Help us to climb, to reach that place in sacred time where we can find our Sabbath soul. Help us, we pray, to recognize your holiness, to sanctify and to embrace the Sabbath day, your precious gift, with love and grace.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you. In that spirit, let's turn to page 16 and join together in the Michamocha. We are honored to call upon Tina Lowenthal.
A prayer for the journey toward reproductive justice. Holy, gracious, and loving God, you are wise beyond our knowing. You have gifted us with intelligence, memory, reason, and skill. You fill our lives with experiences in which we may freely use these gifts. We are complex beings living complicated lives. Give us the courage to discern what is right and what is good. Help us and help us help others to respect all of life, especially the lives of women who have been denied justice, their intelligence questioned, their choices limited, their freedom disallowed. Inspire our minds, fire our spirits, and strengthen our wills that justice and compassion may always be our companions on this journey, and that we may know your peace.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you so very much. I just want to take a moment at this time to collectively thank our sisterhood, and then they'll continue to lead us in this moving service and wonderful celebration of Shabbat. We want to express our deep gratitude and appreciation to our beloved Temple Sisterhood for all that you do for our Temple family throughout the year. Week after week, month upon month, year after year, Sisterhood, You bring us enriching experiences with tremendous creativity. You nourish us. You nourish us in body, heart, mind, and soul. It would take me at least an hour to enumerate all the ways that our sisterhood does that. So we'll save that for another time and throughout the year. Now we want to thank each and every leader and member of our sisterhood. We offer you our abiding gratitude. May God continue to bless you in all that you do. May you go from strength to strength, and may you continue to bring goodness and the joys of Judaism and God's presence into our lives through your boundless generosity, your remarkable care, and your extraordinary kindness to everyone here at Temple Sinai. Our deepest thanks. We are now honored to call upon Flo Cohen and Jan Sway.
Here is a reading I think you'll all know. A woman of valor who can find, far beyond pearls is her worth. Her husband's heart trusts in her, and he shall lack no fortune.
Today's woman of valor determines her own worth. She trusts in herself. Her fortune is found in the size of her heart and how she wishes to share it, whether or not she shares it with a partner, spouse, or lover.
She anticipates the needs of her household and the bread of idleness she does not eat. Her children rise and celebrate her, and her husband, he praises her.
Today's woman of valor works to feed her own needs while she feeds the needs of others. She knows that neglecting herself can lead to neglecting the other parts of her life. She mothers what she wants to nurture in her life. She actively loves herself, the people with whom she surrounds herself, and the universe. She makes an effort, no matter how great or small, to improve whatever she may want to change about herself, her life, and the world.
She rises while it is still nighttime to prepare food for her household and a ration to her maidens. She fears not snow for her household, for her entire household is clothed in scarlet wool.
Today's woman of valor seeks a balance between work, rest, and play, between the things she does and who she is. She defines her own personal space and determines her own boundaries. She seeks to make her home a sanctuary, a place where she can be replenished and share time and space with those whom she loves.
She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue.
Today's woman of valor is ever conscious of her thoughts and actions and the effect they have on herself, others, and the world. She considers how her words taste on her tongue and how they may be digested by those to whom she speaks. She allows the light of her heart to guide her.
Many daughters have attained valor, but you have surpassed them all.
Today's woman of valor strives to build a support system with other women in her life, whether they be friends, sisters, adult daughters or daughters-in-law, co-workers. She appreciates the importance of the supporting network women can provide for one another.
False is charm and futile is beauty. A God-fearing woman, she should be praised at the gates by her own deeds.
Today's woman of valor is comfortable in her own skin. She possesses an inner beauty that radiates so strongly that it is the first thing that people see when they look at her. She feels proud of all she does in the world, whether great or small, and of those whom she loves in the world, one and all. This is how today's woman of valor lives her life. She is you and she is me. Kain Yehi Ratzon. So may it be.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Flo. Combined your two names there. Thank you again, Flo and Jan. We really, really appreciate it. My goodness. Well, inspired by this beautiful service and the wisdom and the kindness and the poetry of the soul and the heart that's being expressed by our women of Reform Judaism, by our sisterhood. Let's take that inspiration and take it inside into our heart and mind and soul and spend a few moments now this Shabbat evening in our very own personal silent prayer and contemplation.
Adonai tzuri v'goali, Adonai tzuri v'goali. My God, my rock, and my redeemer, Adonai tzuri v'goali. My heart opens for you. My lips pray to you. Please, please shine through. You let our song in Rafi. You let our song in Rafi. That you'll only be Fanecha. You let it song in Rafi. Adonai tzuri v'goali, Adonai tzuri v'goali. My God, my rock, and my redeemer, Adonai tzuri v'goali. My heart opens for you. My lips pray to you. Please, please shine through. You let our song Rafi. You let our song Rafi. That you'll only be Fanecha. You let our song Rafi.
Thank you, Cantor. Thank you. Well, it was inimitable woman of Reform Judaism Debbie Friedman of blessed memory, who composed and brought to the Jewish world the melody of the Misha Berach prayer of healing that we all sing each and every Shabbat here at Temple Sinai and is sung throughout the world. When we think about it, what she did by composing the Misha Berach prayer of healing, which traditionally was said when Torah was taken out in an Orthodox or maybe conservative congregation, what she did by creating this Misha Berach prayer of healing is really added a piece of ritual and liturgy that we can't imagine the Shabbat service without. And that was her creation. That was what she did. So we take a moment now, as we do each and every Shabbat, to think of our loved ones and people we know who are in need of healing, who are in need of a healing of body and a healing of spirit. And we pray for them now. We bring them into our hearts. We ask God's blessings upon them. So please join us in the Misha Berach prayer, which you can find on page 22.
Misha Berach Avoteinu V'kor habracha Ve'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen.
At this time, we invite you to list in the chat box loved ones, family members, friends that you're thinking of now who are in need of healing. Our Misha Berach prayer of healing is for them. And as we continue to put names in the chat box, our Misha Berach prayer of healing is also for the folks listed on our Misha Berach list. We pray in our hearts for all of these temple members who are in need of healing, all of these family members who are in need of healing. And I'm thinking of my brother Mike, who's recovering from COVID back in St. Louis. We think of all these family members who are in need of healing. We think of all these friends and coworkers who are in need of healing. As we now continue our prayer of healing together.
Misha Berach Imoteinu V'kor habracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We pray all the people we listed who we were thinking about, we pray that they are all healed. We are now honored to call upon Susan Hain.
Prayer for our country. Our God and God of our ancestors, bless this country and all who dwell within it. Help us to taste the sweetness of liberty, to not take for granted the freedoms won in generations past or in recent days, to heal and nourish our democracy, that it may be like a tree planted by the water whose roots reach down to the stream, and so it need not fear drought when it comes. Source of all life, guide our leaders with righteousness, strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening, that they may use their influence and authority to speak truth and act for justice. May all who dwell in this country share in its bounty, enjoy its freedoms, and be protected by its laws. May this nation use its power and wealth to be a voice for justice, peace, and equality for all who dwell on earth. May we be strong and have courage to be bold in our action and deep in our compassion to discern when we must listen and when we must act, to uproot bigotry, intolerance, and violence in all its forms, and to celebrate the many faces of God reflected in the wondrous diversity of humanity, to welcome the stranger and the immigrant, and to honor the gift of those who seek refuge and possibility here, as they have since before this nation was born. Let justice well up like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Thank you, Susan. We thank you. And we are now honored to call upon Joyce Moskowitz.
A memorial prayer. I haven't forgotten you, even though it's been some time now since I've seen your face, touched your hand, heard your voice. You are with me all the time, but I still miss you, and nothing can fill the gaping hole your absence has left in my life. But mixed together with all my sadness, there is a great joy for having known you. Thank you for the magnificent moments we shared and for the ordinary ones as well. Your life has ended, but your light can never be extinguished. It continues to shine on me, even on the darkest nights, and illuminates my way. May God bless you as you have blessed me with love, with our beautiful children, with grace, and with peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you. And we think of all of our loved ones who have passed and who remain an abiding blessing, and who we remain connected in love and memory. As we now think of family members who have died, friends who have passed away, members of our community, members of every race and nation who are a blessing to humanity. We think of them now, we honor them through our memory and through our prayer. As I mentioned the name of a loved one who has passed, I invite you to please stand, and then we'll all stand together to recite the Kaddish prayer. And while I'm mentioning these names, I also invite you to mention, list in the chat box a loved one who you're thinking about who's not listed on our Kaddish list. I want to begin also just by saying tonight, I think we say Kaddish for the million Americans who lost their lives to COVID over these past, whose lives were taken from them due to COVID over these past 2+ years. Our Kaddish prayers for them. And our Kaddish prayer is for Harvey Hirsch. Kaddish prayers for Phyllis Sivan, Shirley Rosenberg. Our Kaddish prayers for Eva Hain, Marion Parnes, David Lieberman. Kaddish prayers for Susan Schwartz, Leon Johnson, Stephen Snitzer, Anita Honey Barr, Vera Schneiderman, Joan Keffel Ettlinger, Janet Jeffries, Jennifer Woody, and Nancy Lord. And for those who are observing Yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one that is commemorated this week, we remember Sue Flasher. We remember Bill Lewenstein. We remember Sally Cohen, Blanche Friedman, Irma Gore, Herbert Kamen, Elliot Schultz, Bernard Schulman. We remember Eva Bloom, Hirsch Neusenblatt, Anna Blackman, Max N. Blackman, Rosa Tau Blackman, Leon Cowan, Minnie Stockser, Mark J. Bayless, Anna Schneider. We remember Shirley Barandus and Mort Dover. As we remember also all the people that were listed in the chat box, We think of all of them. We thank God that they were with us. As we now turn to page 24 in our prayer booklet, page 24, we invite you to please rise for the Kaddish prayer. Together we pray, Yidkadal v'Yidkadash Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
v'Alma divarach Hirutei v'Yamlich Malchutei, b'Chaye Chon v'Yom Echon, v'Chaye D'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'Zman Kari v'Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya, Yitbarach v'Yishtabach, v'Yitpa'ar v'Yitromam v'Yitnaseh, Vit hadar, vit halev, vit halal, shmei de kudisha, berichu. The ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, the amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we say, amen.
Amen.
And please be seated, everybody.
We're going to conclude our Kaddish prayer with Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace. I just want to preface this particular melody by saying the writer Nurit Hirsch, Israeli, and this is the version of Oseh Shalom that I think most people know. If you're going to know a version of Oseh Shalom, this is the one that people know. And it's considered one of the most traditional melodies, and it's written by a woman, and she's 79 years old living in Israel, and she's also won Eurovision Song Contest, so a very renowned songwriter. Please join me with Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom b'mromah, Yaseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We are now honored to call upon Sally Davis.
The voice of a woman. The voice of a woman is immodest. The voice of a woman chants Torah. The voice of a woman demands justice. The voice of a woman comforts a child. The voice of a woman sings with joy. The voice of a woman teaches the ignorant. The voice of a woman prays with devotion. What should be forbidden is silence.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you. Well, we are now so honored to call upon Sisterhood President Ruth Devine.
Thank you, Rabbi. Oh God, on this special Shabbat, We are grateful to be together, even virtually. We give thanks to you for the many generations in this temple community who have joined us tonight to praise your name together. Our sisterhood's accomplishments are due in large part to our faith, hope, hard work, and your commandments of Tikkun Olam, taught in the Torah. The mitzvot we have performed for others have made our sisterhood even stronger and more unified. The harder we work and the more we give, the stronger sisterhood becomes. We thank you, Adonai, for the great support we receive from our clergy, from our leaders, past and present, and from those willing to take part in our activities. Praying here tonight are people of all ages, strengthening our bond with you, God, at this special service in the name of sisterhood. Grant us health, strength, and sense of purpose so that we may continue on with our mission to foster closer community among our members and to sponsor educational, religious, and social activities for each other and our congregation here at Temple Sinai. This service was crafted by our sisterhood women using resources available to us through Women of Reformed Judaism and writings by other women we admire. Our sisterhood has a place for each and every woman in this congregation to find her voice and use her talents, and we invite each of you to join with us. It is true. Without you, we are one woman short. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. And I think you were gonna
Doing the announcements, yes.
yeah, share some announcements. Thank you. Thank you. That was lovely. That was so touching. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for leading tonight's service. And we'd like to thank the many sisterhood members who took part for their beautiful contributions. And I would like to give a very special thank you to Flo Cohen, who, as usual, gave so much of her time to make this service so special. So thank you, Flo. Among the events coming up at Temple Sinai, we have Minyan and Torah study tomorrow at the early time of 9 a.m. via Zoom. Sam Cooper's bar mitzvah at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Rabbi Rick's journey through the Bible on Sunday at 10 a.m. via Zoom. And on Sunday evening at 7:30, join Cantor Alyssa via Zoom for the conclusion of her Jewish storytelling program. The closing program for Sisterhood this year will be our first in-person at the temple, Rosh Hodesh, with music educator and cantorial soloist Sue Epstein. It will be June 29th at 7 o'clock in the social hall, and our theme will be summertime. You'll find Zoom links and details about all of this and more in Sunday's email blast. Be sure to stay afterwards now and schmooze at our virtual Oneg sponsored by Sisterhood. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you again, Ruth. Thank you for the announcements and thank you for all that you do. So many wonderful things going on here at Temple Sinai. I just want to mention one more really quickly. So a week from this Sunday, which will be May 22nd, we're going to be continuing a new series called Living Judaism, sponsored by our adult education program. And this month's topic, a week from this Sunday from 10 to 11:30 via Zoom, is Torah for Today, as we get ready for the Jewish holiday. Oh, thank you, Jason. As we get ready for the holiday of Shavuot, where traditionally we receive Torah, we embrace Torah at Mount Sinai. We're going to talk about and discuss what does Torah mean in the 21st century, in the year 2022. What does Revelation mean in the year today? And so please join us for that and join us for all these wonderful programs this weekend and next and throughout the summer. So much to be enriched by and nourished by. So speaking of a little nourishment, Cantor, I believe you've got Kiddush.
I do. And I want to, like I said, I made the effort to include female voices in terms of female composers during all of the prayers. This is a melody. So I'm gonna do the full kiddush if you'll bear with me. And this is a melody from Sophie Kurtzer, who is a chazanta in a time before women were accepted as female cantors. And so she composed this particular kiddush. I'm gonna put the words on the screen for you all so you can see the whole thing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon yinchilanu zikaron l'maseh bereshit ki hu yom techila l'mikroi kodesh zeicher litziat Mitzrayim ki vanu achurta ve'atanu kidashta mikovim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava v'ratzon hinchatanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat l'chaim. And for a closing song, this is a song called Beyado, written by our dear friend Debbie Friedman, who, as Rabbi mentioned earlier, her contributions to the world of Jewish music are some of the most important ones that we've ever seen in terms of her music is used across every denomination. Her Misha Berach, her Aleph Bet song, all the songs that we grew up with loving, that I grew up with loving, and that some of you have grown up loving, and that continue to grow with us in the many years to come throughout Judaism. So this is her Beyado, and it's the last stanza of the Adon Olam prayer. So we're going to put the words on the screen for you. Beyado avki ruchi beit isha me'ira ve'im ruchi gebiati Adonai li v'lo ira ve'im ruchi gebiati Adonai li v'lo ira ve'yado avki ruchi ve'et isha me'ira ve'im ruchi gebiati Adonai li v'lo ira ve'im ruchi gebiati Adonai li v'lo ira. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Let's all unmute and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom.
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 Beautiful
Shabbat shalom.
selection of songs, Cam.
Yeah, it really was.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat
Very
shalom.
nice. Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, it was just some gorgeous notes tonight.
Yeah.
So, beautiful.
Beautiful service.
Mhm. Hey, Ruth.
It's wonderful to be with you all
That was
tonight.
the most beautiful.
So nice to see
reading you
everybody.
did tonight for Larry.